What's up, guys? This is going to be a review on the KV-220 Tier 5 Premium Heavy Tank, and of course it is a Soviet tank, so it's Russian. So let's talk about the armor. It has 110 millimeters of armor in the front, side, and it has 80 in the rear. So obviously if you're flanking this tank, you want to shoot the rear, just like most tanks. The side is still, very thickly armored at 100 millimeters, so you got to be aware of that. And don't forget, with the tracks, that's adding another 20 millimeters of spaced armor. So I would recommend flanking them and shooting them in the ass instead of shooting them on the side, unless you have a really high pin gun, and then otherwise it wouldn't really matter too much. But this tank sees tiers 5 and 6. Obviously it sees lower tiers, but it does not see a tier 7 tank, so it does get premium matchmaking. And this is a pretty good tank. It's kind of a little bit overpowered. I have like a really high win rate in this thing, like 67% win rate last time I checked, which is pretty good. I mean, damn, that's a high win rate. I don't really play this tank too much, but I do know its strengths. So let's go over the armor. Like I said, 100 millimeters in the front, and right here, as you can see, I'm angled a bit. And we got ricochet zones over here with 75 millimeter gun, 220 right here. But the front, look at that, 115, 16, 120, all the way up towards 135. So it actually doesn't look too good on paper here. This is the upper part too of the armor of the front. But we go to the lower plate, and it's much more better armored, 150 all the way to 180. So this I mean, imagine you're in a tier 5 match. There's no tank destroyers on the enemy side. I mean, you're just gonna bounce everything if they shoot this lower plate, or shoot the upper plate, or shoot this little plate right here. I mean, this thing at top tier is just a beast. If they don't know where to shoot you at, I mean, this thing just bounces so much shots. And I do have a gameplay video showing me bouncing some shots to show its armor a little bit more in the video. But for now, we're still going over the armor here in the front. So we got 80 millimeter weak spots right here, which, as you can see right here, these little view ports, little machine gun port, 80 millimeters thick, and you want to shoot it dead on in order to penetrate. So pretty much a lot of guns at tier 5 could easily go through this. But I wouldn't recommend shooting these spots. I recommend going for the turret. Now this is the weakest part of the armor. As you can see right here, the front of the turret's 90 millimeters thick, 75 on the side and the rear. So the turret is the weak point of the KV-220. I mean, just look at this, 76 armor, 75. You got ricochet zones here, but if you shoot regularly right here in the turret, should go through easily with most guns. Then we got these little cheeks right here, and right here it's ricochet zone, 205 millimeters, 170. I mean, you get some crazy numbers here on this cheek, but on this one looks to be pretty weak. But mostly I would recommend just shooting right here, like right under the manlet right here. You'll pen pretty much every time. I mean, look at that, 75 millimeters. That's really weak. The 90 millimeters of the turret is just the cheek, so mostly the turret's just 75 millimeters instead of 90 millimeters like it says on the right here in the module. So yeah, guys, that's the armor from the turret in the front. We got the manlet at 75 millimeters of spaced armor. I wouldn't recommend shooting the manlet. I have bounced a dirt round from right here from a KV-1S, which has 175 pin, and I was like, wait a minute, what's this guy doing? And I thought he was gonna go through, but he shot into the manlet right here, around this spot right here, and it just bounced off, and I was like, oh, nice. So instead of him shooting for the cheeks or this this flat part of the turret, he shoots like in the strongest part of the turret. So yeah, guys, I wouldn't recommend shooting in the manlet area. Just shoot the cheeks right here, this flat part of the cheeks, or go for these weak spots. Lower plate is really strong, so I don't recommend doing that unless maybe you're in a tier 6 tank. Then you'll be alright. But if you're in a tier 5 tank or lower, I really recommend shooting the turret. But also some tier 6s with low pin will have problems pinning this from the front, so there's always, you know, opportunity to shoot the turret. So let's see, what else can we talk about? We got 40 millimeters over here on the top of the tank, which is actually not too bad. Artie won't, you know, obviously Artie could still wreck you, but I mean, there's some tanks that have 20 millimeters or 25 on top, so that's, I mean, this is not too bad. So it is a KV. As I already said, we got 75 millimeters on the side of the turret and in the rear. Back of the tank, we got 80 millimeters, and this lower spot right here is actually 100. So don't shoot this spot, shoot this spot right here. This spot's 80 millimeters. This spot right here is 100, as you can see right here. So shoot this spot. We already went over the side of the armor, which is 100 millimeters, 20 millimeters extra with the spaced armor. If you shoot right here, the tracks, you need about 150 pen to go through. So I guess this is pretty much the armor of the tank. If we compare it to the KV-1, there we go. As we can see, the KV-1 obviously has less frontal armor and less side armor, but it has a way better turret, as you can see right here, 110 millimeters in the front, which is a lot better. This turret's way better than the KV-220s, but otherwise the whole armor's layout's pretty much kind of the same as the KV-220, besides it being weaker, of course. Same type of weak spots. So just wanted to show you guys that. And now we'll check out these little soft spots compared to the KV-220. Both have same view range. Obviously the matchmaking is way better on this, and of course you're gonna earn more money because this is a premium tank, like I said. Here are all these other stats right here. Mobility, all these good stats right here that you guys could pause the video and you guys could check these out yourself. So yeah guys, that's pretty much all I want to talk about for right now in this little part in Tank Inspector. I'm gonna go to the garage now, and I will talk more about the tank, more about the gameplay, and you know, more about the gun, and all kinds of other stuff, you know, about the stats and crew members and whatnot. So I'll see you guys back in the garage. Alright guys, I'm back. As you can see right here, I'm in my garage, and here is my KV-220. So guys, let's talk about the stats of it here in the garage. We got 690 hit points, which is pretty high. I think the other highest is the Churchill. Both Churchills, the Churchill 3 and Churchill 1. Weighs just under 64 tons. 650 engine power, so doesn't move around too fast, but you know, it's an okay speed, especially, you know, for a heavy tank. 33 speed limit. Yeah, like I said, pretty decent speed, not too slow. 20 traverse speed. Obviously, this thing's very heavy, and it is a heavily armored tank, so it turns slow, but it's all right. Makes up for it with its armor. And these are the armor stats we already went over there at Tank Inspector. Shell damage. This is where we get to talk about this gun. So this gun's, it's pretty shitty. I mean, it's not really good, but it's pretty good for a premium tank. We got 99 pen, which is, I mean, decent amount, good enough to pen mostly everything at tier 5. And you got 121 pen with gold rounds, which that will help against the more heavily armored tanks at tier 6. Since you don't see any tier 7s in this tank. 110 damage, very low alpha damage, but sorry about that. But you do have a very nice rate of fire at 14 rounds per minute. So low alpha damage, but nice rate of fire. Very shitty accuracy. I mean, 0.46. Obviously, that's just really shitty accuracy. 2.3 second aiming time. Really, that's okay. Could be better. So yeah, guys, that's the gun right there. I recommend loading. I got a 20 gold rounds, so I recommend doing loadouts similar to this. I got a couple. This thing could carry a lot of ammo, so as you can see, look at that, 95, 20, and 5. That's a nice amount right there. That's why I carry a 5 high explosive. I got a nice amount of gold rounds, which will help against the tier 6, and plenty of regular AP rounds. And wait a minute, let me go back there. And as you can see, the rounds are very cheap for the AP 56. That's nothing right there. And same for the high explosive. Gold rounds obviously cost a little more at 2,400. So this thing has really good money making potential. What else can we go over? Oh yeah, let's see, we went over the rate of fire. My reload in this tank is 3.53 in the game, I think, or is it 0.4? 3.54, I guess. Well, that's what it says right here. Anyways, yeah, this is with a rammer, fence, and brothers in arms. I don't have anything else to increase my reload speed. I have a spawn liner right here as my equipment. So yeah, that's the reload speed. The turret traverse speed obviously doesn't turn that fast. It's at 22 degrees, but it's okay for a heavy tank, like I said. 310 view range is standard. I have 335 on mine. 360 signal range is standard, and I got 392 on mine. So these are pretty much the stats that you can see right here in World of Tanks. Let's see. Now let's talk about the crew members and the crew skills. Obviously, you want to have repairs. Mostly every heavy tank needs this, so repairs is a must. I have 6th Sense, Brothers in Arms, and repairs, but before that I had repairs first, and obviously I switched my skills around. But that's obviously what you would want on the heavy tank, repairs. Same thing for here. We got repairs. This is my own personal preference, Deadeye. Since this thing shoots pretty fast, rapid fire gun, it works well with it. So I decided to get Deadeye on here. And of course, Brothers in Arms there again. Another good skill would probably be a snapshot. And yeah, what else? We got driver. These driver skills are going to help. So I got preserver maintenance, so I wouldn't catch on fire as much. I really never had a fire problem in this tank, but why not get an extra 25%? And I got Brothers in Arms, repairs, and these are other very nice skills that you would need. Clutch braking is a very, very nice skill. So you can see right here, this my XVM mod right here tells me right here, wiki World of Tanks, primarily helpful for fast tanks that don't already turn fast, and then it says also useful on heavy tanks that turn really slow, such as the Soviet KV line. And yeah, clutch braking, this is a really good skill that will help these slow turning tanks. So you would want clutch braking also. Smooth ride, why not? Off-road driving would be the second thing to get probably, or controlled impact, so you could do more ramming damage if that's what you would like. But to move better on ground, off-road driving would be a little better. So those are the skills for the driver. Radio operator, these skills, no one really cares too much about this, so I'm not even gonna go over it. Loader skills, once again, not too much skills for loaders. I got adrenaline rush, so just in case I get really badly beat up, I would get a faster reload by, what is that, rate of fire by 9%. So this thing would help out if I have a little bit of HP, and would help me do more damage. What else? Safe stowage is always useful, but this tank's not really ammo rack prone or anything. Intuition, I wouldn't really recommend that. So yeah guys, I just went over the crew member skills right there. Now what else can we talk about? Let's talk about let's talk about the consumables. You need automatic fire extinguisher, just to have that extra 10% to fire protection, and the basics, repair kit and first aid kit. Alright guys, now let's talk about the tank. So this thing plays similar to a KV-1 pretty much plays exactly like KV-1, except KV-1 has better turret and weaker frontal armor. So yeah, how you want to play this is just pretty much like a heavy tank. You want to angle, make sure you're angled well so you can bounce shots. Obviously you're not too quick, so once you go to one flank, you're gonna have to stay with that flank. What else is there much to say? This thing has a regular heavy tank playstyle. it is a beast at tier 5. Like I said, I mean, if you guys have this tank or you're planning to get it, you know, I would suggest getting it if you like heavy tanks, because this thing will bounce a lot of shells. Tier 5 and lower, this thing is a beast if they don't know where to shoot it at. Like I said, if they don't know the turret's the weak spot, like most people would think the turret is actually a strong point of the KV, because if they think KV-1, they think strong turret, but actually the KV-220 has a weak turret, which is the stock turret of the KV-1. So I mean, some people don't know that. They think it's a strong part of armor, but you know they think the front's weak, so they keep shooting the front and ignore the turret. And you know, by the time they start shooting at the turret, it's too late. You've already dwindled them down with your high rate of fire. Obviously, you have a low pen gun, but you can make up for it with gold rounds. And at tier 5, 99 pen is enough to go through most targets. So yeah, guys. I mean, this thing's pretty much a brawler. You know, heavy tank game style. It's a really nice tank to drive. Whenever I play it, I feel like I'm, you know, seal clubbing, because this thing is just, you know, it's a beast. I mean, well, what else is more to say? I forgot to mention that you guys already know it is a premium tank, but they don't sell it all the time. This is like a special tank that they sell, you know, during special events or something like that. But you know, if you do see it for sale, I would suggest picking it up if you enjoy the KV-1, and if you know you're grinding the Soviet line. You know, this could help train your crew members a little bit more. I mean, yeah, this is a really good tank, guys. Like I said, I don't really play it too much because I don't really like seal clubbing. But when I do take it out to play, I mean, this is a really nice tank to drive. If I check my stats in it, let's see what we got over here. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, trying to find it here. There it is right there, KV-220. I got a 66% win rate. Maximum damage per battle, I got 2,100, which is pretty nice. I mean, just look at all this. Armor use efficiency is really nice and high right here. Yeah, guys, these are my stats right here on the KV-220. It's not too hard to do good in this tank, but you know, that's okay. You know, for beginners, obviously, you know, you're gonna have fun. You're gonna have fun in this tank. This is kind of like the IS-6 of the tier 5s. I would say, because of its nice armor. But yeah, guys, I mean, there's really not much else to say about this tank. So, you know, I think this will be it for this review.